Honey, your weekend has officially begun because you are on your Feel Good Breakfast show, and we only ever bring you great vibes, such as the likes of celebrating some iconic people. I'm talking about a national treasure here, rather. Somebody who is not just an award-winning TV and film producer, but also director, my friend. I'm talking about Tebogo Malope, the king who secured 11 golden horns at the SAFTAs 18. Does it get more iconic than that?
Oh my goodness, I feel like I got to bow down in front of royalty right now. I can't wait to usher in this incredible greatness. But you know what's even better? He doesn't only just share about his victories, because sometimes, do you know the story? You want to celebrate the glory, but do you know the story? And we all experience failures. And so he's hosting an incredible workshop called Lessons from Bombing. It all goes down tomorrow, Saturday, the 9th of November, between 10 and 1 at Malope, out in, of course, the cradle of humankind. So please help me in welcoming Tebogo with a feel-good welcome.
Oh, Mr. Golden Horn, is that your name now? Because you have so many of them.
Yo, you said iconic so many times.
It's because you are.
Maybe I should be Mr. Iconic.
Mr. Iconic Golden Horn. There it is. Thank you very much. Tebogo, congratulations.
Thank
It
you
is
so much.
so amazing to see you do what you're doing, because I know I grew up watching your name there in the credits and everything, and now I feel like you're getting all the flowers that you deserve after years and years of hard work. Does it feel real?
Yeah, I think it's interesting because next year I'm 20 years in the game.
Sure.
Beautiful.
And I actually started at SABC with shows like Scheme Sam and Tempe Pushers.
Oh,
and
darling.
And to end up at this position right now, it feels a little bit surreal.
Yeah.
But also, you know, we just grind, we just work. And so you never really get time to pause and think about it. So it's actually the first moment now sitting here that I'm actually thinking about it. So yeah, it feels great.
That's amazing.
And I'm so glad that we get to be part of that, because you're right, we do grind, our head goes down all the time, but actually to be acknowledged and to look up and experience this, so congrats and be present in this moment.
Yeah.
I do want to ask you though, you're saying 20 years in the game. Can you take me through a bit of your story? Where did it all begin for you?
Yeah, there's Harriet Gavshon who started a company called Curious Pictures, but today it's called Quizzical Pictures.
Yes.
And she believed in me and she decided to put me on a set. In fact, the first set I was on was Hard Copy season 1. I was on SABC 1 back in the day. So that's where it all began for me. I was like a cable basher running around. I see there's a lot of crew guys here cable bashing and whatnot. But that was my start. That was my genesis.
Wow.
And I never thought I would be at this position. In fact, I was just happy enough to be cable bashing and to be part of the team. You know? And God willing, things happen the way they have. But for me, it's always been about just being on set, telling stories, and doing what I'm passionate and what I feel God has called me for.
Amen.
So to be here now, talking to you guys, Mr. Iconic.
Yeah, that's right.
It's really humbling for me, and it's an exciting journey.
Tebogo, you know, like Carissa said, we're so glad we get to celebrate you, because I feel like, you know, a lot of the time people think that this thing of success, it just happens. For you to say that you were just doing cables and now you are behind some of the biggest productions in the country, incredible. And it's so inspiring as well. And this is why I think it's so apt that we're able to learn from your beautiful story, particularly this weekend. But I want to take it to, you know, all of the different challenges that you faced, because any story isn't without those challenges. What kept you going? What kept you being like, okay, cool, these production houses or these specific places have said no to my script or whatever it may be? What kept you saying, you know what, I believe in this and I'm going to go?
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think, like, you know, you can't really do this unless you're super passionate about it. And I think for me, I'm consumed by passion of telling stories, right? And that's the thing, right? If you're not necessarily passionate, the moment a challenge or failure confronts you, it's easy to let go and try something else. And so for me, it's if you're passionate, then you just keep going. You have no other choice. There's no plan B. Right? And so I think the talk that we're doing tomorrow is really about that. It's really telling young filmmakers to embrace the failures, to make the process and the work the reward, as opposed to making the award the reward. You know what I mean? And so for me, it's about, I'm just doing it because I enjoy doing it. Whether it succeeds or not, it's okay. Because the process is the win. And so I think for me, that's the thinking, and that's how you reframe this career and how you reframe filmmaking, especially for young filmmakers. Let the process and let the work be the award.
Oh.
Not just iconic, wise too.
I'm telling you, and this is how you get 20 years in the game. I'm here for it. I love that the Japanese kind of say, you know, fall down 7 times, get up 8, because it is really about the resilience and the fact that you keep on going, and that's what makes you a winner. So let's talk about tomorrow. Is it just for filmmakers? Lessons from bombing. Tell me more about this.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, the title was quite an interesting thing because when I started in commercials, I worked at Bomb Productions. Oh, Grand Joe, Grand.
Yes.
and a lot of the lessons that I learned when I was at Bomb, right? But a lot of the failures also happened when I was at Bomb. So it's kind of an interesting play on words.
Yes.
But for me, you know, the thing about social media, it sanitizes everything.
True.
And a lot of like storytellers and a lot of my peers, when you go into their social media platforms, you go, wow, it's all red carpets, lights, it's all awards, it's not, and nobody's actually talking about the reality of doing what we do. And the truth is 90% of what we do is failing.
True.
90% of what we do is a grind. And 90% of what we do is tears.
Yeah.
So I think the talk tomorrow is not just about filmmakers. It's just about anybody that's interested in the creatives, somebody that just wants to hear about how do you approach life. Because it's not just a lesson about filmmaking, but it's a lesson about life.
Yeah.
Because the more you embrace the failing, the more you enjoy it, is the more you can be free. And so the more you can
100%.
tackle life going, if I fail, it's all good, but I'm just going to enjoy the process of doing.
100%. And I think that so many people sometimes miss the whole thing of how so much of our industry, like you said, is hearing the word no. We hear no all the time. But you are giving us a yes, mister, by allowing us to come and just, you know, pick your brain and be a part of this really beautiful talk that you're going to be giving. Please tell us about the tickets.
Well, yeah, so it's interesting, like the tickets. Actually, I'm going to shout out Wireless G, who's the founder of Thesis, because he's the guy who came up with the idea, because it's actually free.
Lovely.
And then G texted me, said, but like, why don't you to push like a charity drive behind it. And so there's a little village, a squatter camp next to where I live in the cradle of humankind. So you bring a toy and then you come in, right? And then so we're going to collect as many toys as possible, and then we're going to make the kids of Malachi village happy, and we're going to hand over these toys for Christmas.
Incredible.
So come and hear lessons from bombing, but bring a toy for the kids of Malachi village.
Beautiful. Father Christmas as well.
Yes.
You have a lot of titles.
Come on, a man of purpose and definitely a man of a great destiny. All I'm saying is that Oscars are going to knock. You better answer that call.
Yeah, Charles.
Thank you.
We're ready to celebrate you some more when those Oscars do come. So
that's the only one. That's the only award that's missing, an Oscar and an Emmy.
That's
Oh,
right.
it's coming your way soon, Tebogo, and I cannot wait for this. Thank you for spending some time with us this morning.
Yes.
And all I'm saying is that we're in the winner's circle right here.
That's right.
And it extends all the way into Cape Town. How are you feeling over there? You guys winning?